What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James, shoot!
.com, and we got maybe
one of the most anticipated
films of the year.
Yeah, easily. It.
Stephen King. I'm sure it's gonna be better than Dark Tower.
I hope so, because Dark Tower was a mess. So it, every 27 years, it takes its time in Derry, Maine, and haunts the children and people of this city.
And this is the 27th year right now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oddly enough, I don't know if it was on purpose.
I'm sure it was.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they've been talking about remaking it for such a while that it would have.
Yeah,
maybe.
I feel like they pushed it to make it
this
day.
year.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is that the original ABC TV movie was in 1990. It is now 2017, making it 27 years. Being a fan, of course, of Stephen King in general, and also the 1990 TV movie, at least most of it, I a lot of high hopes going into this. What were your thoughts? Did you ever see the 1990 It?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
And the kids and the adult version with Jonathan Brandis.
Part 2, yeah.
Yeah, which was
and also
the lady that played Lana Lang in Superman.
And then Three's Company. Why can't I think of his name? John Ritter.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, and of course Tim Curry.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw the trailers though, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really feeling the way that the clown looked.
Yeah.
In this new version, because I was so used to Tim Curry's look, and the nostalgia factor maybe played a factor. I don't know, but.
No, I felt that way too, and I think it was more because he was trying to be more sinister, where I like that Pennywise kind of looked like a clown that could be
He was trying to be like friendly,
a normal
but just
clown.
freaky as heck, dude.
But where this one feels like it's a little bit sinister, obviously, not a very comfortable clown. Where if Pennywise did smile and was at a circus, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
And so yeah, we just got out and we had a pretty full house.
Yeah, so a lot of big turnout.
That helps.
Yes.
With the experience, because movies are meant to be watched with full homes, and just. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And just so I don't think I have any complaints about the movie. The movie was long, but it didn't feel long. I thought the pacing was great. I thought that the children actors that they picked for this movie probably couldn't have been any better. It was it was so perfect, and I loved Beverly. I loved the chubbier kid. What was his name?
His name was Ben.
I liked him.
I think.
And how
there's so many
he loved Beverly.
Yeah.
Or had a crush on Beverly, and then I liked him. I enjoyed this movie, and then there was a couple good scare factors, couple good, really good ones.
Yeah.
Especially the part where Pennywise puts his hands on Beverly, and like in that choking motion after the father gets taken out, and that was really good. I was like, whoa! But yeah, overall, it was really, really good. I'm not jacked, but I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know how to explain that.
Do you consider it one of the scariest movies of the year, or just in some time? Like, did you find this scarier than Annabelle?
No. I thought, what was the one that just came out? Annabelle Part 2.
Annabelle Creation.
I thought Annabelle Creation was scarier. I think. This one for me, there was some good scare factors, but for me, this was in Dallas. I thought said it the best. It was more of this adventure.
Yeah.
And there were scary moments, absolutely, but I actually wouldn't consider this like a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think
and
that's
this
kind
isn't
of
bad criticism either. I enjoyed the movie a lot. It was fun. It was great.
No, and I think that might be hopefully not an issue for people going to see it. But it doesn't feel like that typical over-the-top horror, scary moment.
And I'm glad.
It is more about this coming-to-age story of these kids who have to overcome this catalyst. They're demons in their own way, and I was saying before we started filming, it feels much more truer to Stephen King. I mean, if you like Stand By Me, which is an adventure about these kids, a group of kids, very similar, more social outcasts having their issues.
That's also by Stephen King?
Yeah, also by Stephen King, based on a short story. That find a dead body or go out and look for a dead body. And, that kind of kinship between these outsiders, in this movie they were called the Loser Club. Stephen King's one of most favorite characters come from the Loser Club. They actually reappear in one of his other novels, the one about the Kennedy assassination, because he liked them so much he wanted to see them again.
Who?
Kids from the Losers Club.
Oh, all of them?
Yeah, not all of them, but I believe it was...
That's what I mean, who?
Yeah, I believe specifically it was Stanley and Ben. So, I could be wrong on that. I mean, they do reappear, and he's always talked about really liking these characters. And for here, opposed to the 1990 movie, it definitely feels more about this kinship, about these group of kids. It definitely has that classic feel that Stranger Things kind of brought back. It's, you know, we had the actor from Stranger Things, but it really kind of connects. Everyone really loved that show because of these group of kids. It felt like the Goonies, it felt like the 80s, it felt like these movies that really focused on these kids, and that's what this movie does. While Pennywise is definitely the issue here, he's not the main course. And I actually really liked that about this movie, even though it felt that it was going to be very different going in. I don't think it was absolutely terrifying. I think that the moments were effective enough for me. I wish we would have just toned down a little bit of the CGI. I think some parts were just a little bit over CGI'd. But I don't think the CGI looked bad either. I just felt that I would have, like, towards the end of the film, we kind of have more Pennywise being Pennywise, not turning into anything, not morphing, but just kind of being there an element and, you know, dealing with these kids. And I wish we would have had a little bit more of that, but some of the things that he morphed into.
I wish we would have had the battery acid part.
Yeah.
Because they kept on taking out his inhaler.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, they're gonna use it, and they didn't.
But I mean, yeah, I think that the things that he did morph into, though, were pretty terrifying. I mean, some of he turns into a leper, and I think at one point that was like genuinely like probably the creepiest part for me. I thought that was pretty scary.
I thought he was about to be the spider already.
Yeah.
That one part where he was like doing the
crawl.
Was that what that was?
It could be. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure maybe it's a tease. I don't know where they're going to go with the second part. I don't know how much. But this does feel much more closer to the source material than the 1990 TV movie.
Oh, I wouldn't even know.
Man, I really felt that, ironically, this is a movie that really has a lot of heart. I think it has really falls on the shoulders of these characters that we all really like, that all feel really developed and complex. I mean, just some of the interactions. We have Beverly, who is this really important piece of the story. Ben, who I said was probably my favorite character because his little just looks and mannerisms were very, very subtle, but it really kind of pulled.
Beverly.
But it really pulled through. I mean, just these little motions, the way you would look down, and all these little things I thought were really good. I mean, I enjoyed it because we were with these characters that we really liked, and like I just kept thinking about Stand By Me, which Stephen King has, you know, made, and he's always told these stories of these characters, and he's always really cared about, you know, the complexity of characters, and I could see why this movie really works. But I could also see people who want to see Pennywise being the most scary thing in the world be a little bit disappointed. Everyone in our group really, really liked it, though, and I think I got what I wanted out of it. I got this really full adventure, and this, you know, and this scary villain, but I don't think it is the most terrifying thing, but I don't think it's trying to be the most terrifying movie in the world, but I think it is playing on all of our fears. And, you know, I think it comes back to that just this thematics of these kids fighting their demons. You know, you look at these people that these kids are surrounded by and these horrible things that happen to them. You know, it's not so much about it's about them kind of figuring out their way and learning how to stand up for themselves and how to fight their demons. That really, while it is one of them, and literally kind of becomes what their fears are, it's about helping them go on with their life. Obviously, Beverly with her father, and, you know, so on and so forth.
Father.
I would say my only criticism.
Did the father actually ever do anything?
Well, we can only allude to.
Do you think?
I would.
You took it as yes?
Absolutely, yeah. The only thing I wasn't crazy about probably was the bully in the movie. I just kind of felt that
pointless.
Not pointless, but it just to me was a bit much at sometimes. Like, I think
why?
Like, he goes from licking his hand and smacking kid in the face, and, you know, picking on kids, and, you know, driving, like, I mean, the part where he almost hits one of the kids on his car, that kind of felt realistic. But the moment he's already, like, starting to, like, I mean, I think the third time we see him, he's, like, slicing his name into a kid, and I just felt that was really, really heavy and kind of out of character for this.
Well, even his friend that was like,
yeah, his friend was like that, but then his friend kind of helped pursue him, and then even later we kind of get in this really dark thing, and then it's kind of, you know, I mean, I just felt that could have been fleshed out a little bit more, and I think his actions could have felt more real. I mean, granted, we're talking about this world where there's this clown that could turn into all these horrible things.
I guess I understood. I felt the same way all the way up until I saw how afraid he was of his father.
Yes.
So
no,
then
I mean, they definitely
this
try to.
kid's traumatized by his father. So the only way he knows how to combat that is by bullying others.
Yeah. No, that all makes sense. But just in chain of events, it just felt like a really vast extreme to see him slice this kid after, smacking a kid in the face. And then later, where he's trying to shoot a cat, like, to me, even that is like lower than what he did already. Not as in like worse, but it just seems like, because it didn't really happen, that kind of buildup would have made more sense, where he actually is starting to kind of go off edge and becoming more violent, like after he was embarrassed by his father, and then he went and did that. That to me makes more sense, where this was just like, boom, he's a psycho. Like, it's not a bully, it's like this guy's mentally, deranged. And obviously they try to explain why that's the case, but I wasn't really crazy about that. But again, I don't think that was a major flaw in the movie. Overall, really good. I thought the moments were really creepy. I think it was well acted. I think the characters are really carried here. The story is really, really important here. And while I don't think you'll be the most terrified you have been in a very long time, I think this is a movie that you'll want to revisit and actually enjoy. And it's just a very fun, scary movie. It's not
after watching it though, I think I still feel that the new look of it is I guess I could say the problem, but it's not really a problem. It's just that it doesn't scare me. Where Tim Curry's, and again, it might have been because I was young when I saw Tim Curry's. I was just like, dude, because he looks friendly.
Yeah, no, and that's why I said he kind of looks more normal.
This one doesn't look. This one looks like I'm trying to be scary. He doesn't try to look. It doesn't look like I'm trying to be cute. Versus the Tim Curry one looked like I'm trying to be.
And then sometimes I think the CGI eyes were a bit much, and they would kind of feel out of place. And then sometimes they were a little bit crooked. I mean, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but there were just certain things where I was just like, okay, he doesn't need to be like a CGI face right now. He doesn't need to be. They would do that a lot, and while it didn't necessarily bother me, I just didn't find it more terrifying. He did depend a lot on him having a lot of CGIs, and it's not till the end where we kind of really get him as this realistic figure doing these things, but obviously he's shifting, but not his face, so it kind of feels like he's really under there, all that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Derry's like in 27 years, and I'm excited for Chapter 2. And
this one's supposed to open now, as they're saying, as high as 70 million.
I believe. I mean, I think easily this movie will do probably. It'll probably be one of the better. I mean, I don't know how it'll do in comparison as far as, like, budget and gross. I mean, it's The Big Sick, but I mean, it's probably going to really do well with its budget. Like, I know we got the big ones. Everyone's like, oh, Just League, Star Wars don't make tons of money. Yeah, but those movies cost tons of money. I don't know necessarily how much this one was made for, but I'm sure it's going to make its money back and plenty of it. Everyone's been kind of really happy with it, so I'm glad. I really.
They said that we'll probably get the sequel in 2019.
2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing about that is now we have to kind of go to new characters. While they're the same, we have to find people who are able to kind of channel those very young actors.
Yeah.
So if you're a
Did you see
40-year-old actor...
all the kids said who they would prefer play them?
No.
The older.
Really? No, I didn't see that.
The Beverly said Jessica Chastain.
No. I'm curious. I'm sure they're already probably looking out there.
And then the other kid said he wanted to be, he said he wanted Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, that's a good pick. I like Chadwick Boseman. That's a good pick.
And then I can't remember the other
ones. But yeah, I think again, just to recap, I know I might be repeating myself, but again, this is a real movie that
you do that all the time.
The adventure is really, really big. I want to make sure I hit all my points, and usually when we're done recording, I go, oh, I forgot to bring this up. But the adventure of it, the heart of these kind of characters, and especially the ending, I don't want to give it away, but the ending felt very Stephen King. It has a very similar ending to Stand By Me, and I'm really just excited to see where these characters go. I really enjoy this movie, probably in my top 10 of the year so far.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was just really happy, and I felt, while it wasn't the movie I was expecting, I was tenfold happy with what I got.
Love it. But who cares about what you think or what I think? We want to know what you think. Comments below and let us know what your thoughts on it was. I think for me, it's at the 7 out of 10.
I'm probably getting yelled at right now, being like, "Oh, it's not those characters in the Kennedy book." I know it. No, I mean, to me, I'd probably say 3.5. 3.5.
Oh, I thought you were about to go off again.
No. I could. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to hit, but I don't think so.
Well, what do you think? Next week, we have American Assassin with Michael Keaton and...
which early buzz is not good.
That looks so good to me, too. That sucks. And we have Jennifer Lawrence's mother.
Which one of Louis Vuitton's most anticipated movies of the year. Probably the most anticipated movie of the year for him, and one that I'm really looking forward to. A huge Javier Bardem fan, huge Jennifer Lawrence fan, and of course a fan of Darren Aronofsky.
I'm still actually not sure what the movie's about.
It's good.
And then they said that that's on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, they said that it's not intended for you to understand.
We're meant to go, when Darren Aronofsky is behind the camera, usually you're going down a rabbit hole.
Love it. Okay, so we'll be back. It's fun times. Don't forget 10 p.m.s now instead of midnights, which is great.
And if you come to the movies, you could float too.
Love it. Film lovers.
Website.